The charred remains of what once was home. It's the second heat wave in a month, but the Hughes family is still coming to terms with how the first changed their lives. On the hottest day on record, their house was completely gutted by a field fire that took hold.
When we had a look, it just looked like a small fire in the hedgerow, but then there was a huge gust of wind as well, and that's what sort of swept it across into the field.
The heat was so intense and you could hear it roaring, just roaring and roaring and roaring. At that point we had to leave, so we left and just had to stand back and watch the house burn.
It was the field over there where the fire started before hitting these hedges here. We were here on the night and people in the street came out with buckets and hoses to try and help in any way they could. But that 40-degree heat meant it took just half an hour to spread from here to these garages there and then ultimately Paul and Lindsay's house. And with temperatures rising again today, it's a stark reminder of the destruction that can be caused.
Since the fire, Paul and Lindsay have been hunting for temporary accommodation. But with young children and pets and documents up in smoke, there's far more red tape than they expected.
It's almost impossible to find a property. There's such a lack of housing. And the process then to get into a house is really difficult. You know, our dog's become a nervous wreck. We've lost one of our cats. She's gone missing.
You know, at a time when you're dealing with that, the last thing you feel like you're dealing with a lot of unnecessary red tape that is avoidable, really.
It's now almost a month since the fire, but they're still having to rely on family and friends while they continue to process the trauma of what's happened.
You know, we've had 4 kids through the house, their toys, everything like that, that's all gone. And simple
baby
things, photos, scans, blankets,
never thought about the scans.
All those kind of things. So they've all gone, and you just can't get those things back at all. You never get them back.
With the ground still tinder dry, a fire break has now been built in the field next door. As for the house, it'll largely be demolished before being rebuilt, much like Paul and Lindsay will now do with theirs and their children's lives. Amelia Beckett, ITV News, Kiveton Park.